Hey everybody, welcome back if you're returning, welcome if you're new here, and we're going to do the Wisdom of the Oracle again today. It's a deck by Colette Baron Reed, and I like the Oracle cards because you can get a really decent topic off of them that's very inspiring and something that, if you're interested in tarot, oracle, things like that, having an oracle deck is something you can use that you don't have to do a lot of learning about the card meanings and the origin and things like that to decipher it. It's just something you can pull a card just to get inspiration. So, we're going to do that now. And we've got Come to the Edge. Come to the Edge. And what I find interesting is that even with the oracle cards, when we've got kind of a theme going on for the week, they always play into it. Like, the power of higher intelligence, the power of guidance, you just can't question that stuff. So come to the edge. Courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear and accepting risk. See, I say that because yesterday we were talking about how we rationalize situations and stay in them because of fear. Fear of change, fear of risk. We don't want to fail. And part of that is just our own perspective on when we take a leap of faith, we take a risk. Obviously, when we do that, there is something telling us that it's a good idea. Something in us believes that that's the right thing to do. And if we want to mitigate the risk in stepping out in courage, stepping through the fear, what is our motivation? Because I know sometimes we're not really stepping out with courage or facing our fear. We are just running to the first thing we can find to get away from the thing we don't want to be around anymore. And for me, that's professional. Absolutely. Like when I had reached a point with a certain position where I was pretty sure if I had to go in there one more day, one more time, just one more, like I had let it get to that point where it was affecting my health, it was affecting my attitude. I was not in a good frame of mind. In the place that I was working at the time, one, it was an office environment, and that is not my thing. It just isn't. I know better, but I gave it a shot. It verified any doubt that I might have had that that was not the type of job I needed to be in. But the people that worked there were so negative. It was like the negativity enveloped you as you walked in the door. And I remember feeling like my soul was being sucked out of me just getting ready for work. So, instead of recognizing this early on, before I reached that point, because, for my generation, like my dad spent 30 years at the same job, and we were raised that it was irresponsible to bounce from job to job to job. So I hadn't worked there very long, and I didn't want to look irresponsible. If you're going to turn in your resume somewhere, you don't want your 10-year job history to take 45 pages, because you look like a risk to them. You want to have at least some consistency somewhere, So I was trying to stick it out at least reasonable amount of time to work there. And had I not worried so much about that and put more value on the fact that I was losing my freaking mind from this negative, overwhelming, depressing, soul-sucking environment, I probably would have come up with a plan much sooner and done something much more intelligent instead of having that snap moment where you're like, okay, I'm going to put out some applications and the first motherfucker that calls me is the winner because I'm done. When we do that, that's not stepping out in courage. That's not facing our fears. That is running from our problem. And historically speaking, anytime that I flee from one problem, I run straight into another one. And like on a personal level, not so much, because like for relationships, if I get out of a bad one, you're not going to see me on the dating scene for, I mean, it's going to be years. Years. Strange how that works, where I've got like, and I think we're all on different levels like this, you know, in our own way. This part of my life, I have got boundaries like you would not believe. But over here, slacking, right? And I had found that because of the beliefs that I had about work and about the employer-employee relationship and loyalty and things of this nature that I was raised with. Again, a belief is just a thought that you continue to think. Well, after that last scenario of I stayed here way too long and now I must run away and getting another job that was not much better. Still very toxic just because of the employer. But that was the last like little bit that it took to dig down and find out my beliefs about the workplace. And when I started treating work situations like a financial investment, again going back to that, how am I investing my time, how am I investing my energy, how much of it is it taking from me, and am I getting enough back in return for that to be worth it? And for a job, I provide the energy of whatever role I'm fulfilling in the company. How much of myself that I pour out to support the role that I play in that position, right? That's my investment. And I'm a little bit greedy because if I'm required to dress up and wear makeup, that costs more. That costs more energy. You got to get up earlier. You got to put the effort into it. You know, you're investing energy. You're not on the clock yet. You're not getting paid for that. But you're still investing that energy. How far do I have to drive? Because it's wear and tear on my vehicle. It's, again, unpaid time. Is that worth what I'm getting in return? And what you get in return from an employer is your paycheck. Know your worth. Know your value. Know what you bring to the table. And if they're not willing to reward your energetic investment equally, find a new table. Or if you bring all that energy to the table and you're not treated well, it's not worth it. And when you start looking at investing your time and energy the way you would investing money, you wouldn't invest $1 somewhere where they guaranteed you'd get 50 cents back. I mean, that's easy math. That sucks. No, absolutely not. However, we'll stay in relationships and jobs and, you know, situations where that's basically what we're doing. But because we're not looking at it as an energetic exchange, we're looking at it from some skewed perspective we have about, you know, loyalty or wanting our resume to look good, or, you know, I've already invested this much time here. That's already spent. How much more are you going to invest at 50 cents on the dollar before you've had enough? So, there again, I think it really plays in, come to the edge. Taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear, and accepting risk. Courage. Have the courage to demand equal reciprocity. Get what you give. Give what you get. Equal energy exchange. Because we've been programmed to shortchange ourselves because it benefits the people in authority. And in turn, we're over here too depleted, too worn down, too frustrated to make positive changes in our lives, or to have the energy to develop the courage to step out. So, on that note, today, look at the situations in your life, but look at it from a third-party perspective as if it's a financial investment. Are you getting a return on your investment? Is it equal or greater than what you're investing? And if not, are there things that you can do to improve that? Is there a part of you that believes you don't deserve better than that? If not, have the courage to come to the edge, make a change, respect yourself. Don't accept less than your worth. Know your value and demand equal reciprocity in all areas of your life. When you start demanding respect for yourself, and you carry yourself in a way where people realize that you do respect yourself, you typically won't have to ask. How you treat you shows others how you want to be treated, and you will get what you accept. Don't give discounts. I hope that helps. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you soon.